All right, this class is a quick kind of just, or this video is going to be a quick refresher of what we learned about in Photopea. You can access, so Photopea is a nice, simple, simple in the fact that what I like about Photopea is it doesn't require installation. Basically, if you have the internet, you can access it from any browser. You simply go to photopea.com. You can open up images very easily. So I'm going to open up by going to File, Open. I'm going to, go inside of Find an Image and bring it in. Actually, I'm going to download one real quick. So let's say I had, I don't know, dog, and I'm going to get a picture of a dog. Let's get a new one, this one, cute one. I'm going to download. These are measured in pixels, and I'm going to download that. And I'm going to go to Photopea and let's open up that image, which is this one. So, these are my tools, these are my commands, these are my palettes, this is ads. This is how they pay for this because it's free. If I want to view some of that information that I was talking about, dimensions and resolution, specifically in Photopea, you can go to image size, and this would show you your dimensions and show you your resolution or how many pixels there are per inch. If you want to resize, for instance, I could, resize this to be 320 as opposed to, uh, in terms of the width as opposed to 640, so making it half. And you can see I can make my, image smaller here, this one that I downloaded from the internet. A lot of times we're going to want to set up our own documents. So I'm going to go to File, New, and we can use the information over here to set up our document. This includes setting up dimensions. Like I said in my previous video, I recommend for this course that you measure things with pixels because we're pretty much always going to be using pixels since we're not really printing anything in this course. And for resolution, so this is DPI, also sometimes referred to in other programs as PPI, sometimes also referred to as resolution, sometimes referred to as dots per inch or pixels per inch. You want it to be a minimum of 72, which is the default that I'm getting here. You don't really want to set it higher because unfortunately, since our playback is always going to be on a computer or a screen of some sort, whether that's a TV screen or a cell phone screen, those devices, the not only is the minimum 72, the maximum is also 72. So you can't show resolutions that are higher than 72. Okay. This is your background. I can hit create. And there's my document. Let's say I wanted to bring in a photo to bring into my composition. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Open in Place. And I'm going to, actually, well, yeah, let's do Open in Place. I'm going to bring in, this is that photo of the dog. You can click and drag to resize it and move it. This is bringing up layers. We talked about layers, which is like how to organize my material. Um, I'm going to just download another photo. So I don't know, maybe I want to bring in this kind of cool picture here of dragons and maybe one more. Let's do lizard. I'm going to open in place and bring this in. And this is bringing in this raster image into my composition. Notice my composition has not changed in its dimensions. And so this is like my dog layer. So I'm going to call this dog. I'm going to call this one lizard. We talked about how you can kind of turn these on and off. I could duplicate layers. I could make new blank layers. I can also delete layers by clicking on the little delete button here. Hopefully you have done all this from the lab that I gave you last class. Oops, I already did that one. We talked about reordering layers and how that relates to the general project. Okay. We also talked about, changing the size of your composition. So I could make my composition as a whole bigger or smaller. So right now it's 600 by 600. If I were to say, if I were to go to image size, I could make this 300, which would make it 300 by 300, and that would take all of my images and shrink them. Okay. Sometimes you actually want to give yourself more space within a composition. So I'm going to increase it by actually using canvas size, and I'm actually going to make this 800 by 800. And if I hit OK, you can see that the document itself, the canvas, the composition increased. Okay. And that's allowing me to have more space. We also talked last class about cropping a document using the crop tools within Photopea, hitting return. Um, yeah, those are kind of the major concepts, I believe. Oh, we also talked about rotating and scaling things. So I'm going to take this lizard and go to free transform, and I can either scale it using these widgets here or rotate it. Edit free transform. Okay. So that's kind of a general overview of what we can do. This is kind of a refresh of what we did last class. In the next video, we're going to start talking about how to build more complex compositions by selecting part of a raster image and bringing it into your main other raster composition. Okay.